मौला या हुसैन, या हुसैन। मेरे मौला सबने दिल से माना है, ये सबने जिसको पाना है, ये हम सबका खजाना है, या मौला या हुसैन। मौला हमारा जिसके दिल में भी रहेगा, हुर की तरह से उसका दिल भी ये कहेगा, तुम बेमिसाल मौला, तुम लाजवाल मौला, तुम बेमिसाल मौला।
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصل اللهم على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله عز وجل في كتابه الكريم وقوله المبين وهو أصدق القائلين: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الصفا والمروة من شعائر الله. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Assalamu alaikum, respected viewers. Today we are here to tell you about the walk of Arba'een. Before we start about our topic, we will be thanking first of all to the Mawla Abbas Shrine and Mawla Abbas's Haram that they have invited me here, and they are playing a very important role in Iraq towards the Iraqis' economy, and they are even giving a very big hand for spreading the Islamic knowledge around the globe. They are trying to spread the Islamic knowledge through the means of social media, for which they have started an initiative in which they would be teaching the Islamic laws, the theology of Islam, and many other subjects. And the name for which is given is Ma'had Turath al-Anbiya. Under this name they have started a program for Urdu, which is already running at a very big a lot of people are connected to it, and they will be starting in English very soon, inshallah. For those who want to enroll, can enroll through their sites. So coming back to a topic, which is the walk of Arba'een. You are seeing a lot of people from Iraq are gathering towards Karbala. There are people from Basra, from Samarra, from Kazmin, from Kufa, from Najaf, and different places in Iraq. They are gathering all over so that they can come towards Aba Abdullah alayhi salam. And not only from Iraq, but a lot of people from different countries. When you're walking over there for Aba Abdullah, you will see in front of you there might be people from India, Pakistan, China, Bangladesh, and there might be people from Canada, France, UK, London, and different places. You will see everyone around you. So for this, why are these people coming here? What is the need for you all to come here? We are here to explain you what is the need for you to come here. First of all, when you left your home, I know there are different people as well who might have said that this is a kind of innovation towards Islam. This is a kind of bid'ah al-ayadhu billah that people are doing, and people should not walk like that, and people should just go to Aba Abdullah, do the ziyarat of Arba'een, and that's all that is needed. So for them, we would be seeing this topic, and we would be explaining, is there a need? Is a walk really considered sacred in the eyes of Aba Abdullah? Or in the eyes, a walk is considered sacred in front of Allah? Can a walk really be sacred? So to answer this, I would say yes, a walk is definitely considered sacred. What is that walk? When you walk towards Hajj, this walk is considered sacred. When you walk towards Hajj, and after that Hajj, you will see that when you complete the tawaf of Kaaba, you would be seeing that people are going from Safa to Marwa, and from Marwa to Safa, Safa to Marwa, and Marwa to Safa. This is what they have to do on an obligation 7 times. What is the need for you to walk from Safa to Marwa and Marwa to Safa 7 times? I would really like to, why is it necessary to do this? So we will ask, what is the need? What happened over there? So when you look towards this ritual, which is really considered an obligation, this ritual was performed by Bibi Hajra. Bibi Hajra was the mother of Ismail alayhi salam, and was the wife of Ibrahim alayhi salam. She had performed this ritual when she saw that Ismail was thirsty. So she went from Safa to Marwa, and then she went back. When she did not find water over there in Marwa, she went back to Safa to look for water. When she did not again find water over there, she walked back again to Safa, and then she walked back again to Marwa. She walked 7 times while she was seeing her son Ismail is thirsty. So Allah liked this walk of Bibi Hajra so much that Allah had made this a ritual, a Islamic ritual, and now it is considered as an Islamic obligatory act. And what do you mean by this obligatory act? That if you do not do this, you have to, your Hajj will remain incomplete, and your Hajj is not accepted without walking from Safa to Marwa. So this is a walk which was considered sacred by Allah. So I would like to tell you that, for each step that you are taking in this walk is counted and is rewardful by Allah. And similarly, like those people who are actually saying that a walk towards someone is not meritorious, is not considered rewardful, I would like to tell you that if you walk, there are different and numerous narrations about walking towards a masjid. So if you walk towards a masjid, a masjid is a mosque. So if you walk towards a mosque, then there has been a narration from Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, in which he explains that walking towards a mosque, how rewardful it is. So if a person is walking towards a mosque, for every step taken he is given a reward. So, and even and it has been mentioned in the narration, the more farthest you walk to a mosque, the bigger the reward will be, and you would be the most rewardful person. So when you're walking towards a mosque, it is considered sacred. When you're walking like Bibi Hajra from Safa to Marwa, it is considered sacred. But when you walk for Aba Abdullah, you consider it as a bid'ah. It cannot be a bid'ah, because he is the grandson of Rasulullah. And even Rasulullah saying is, Husaynu minni wa ana minhu. I am from Hussein and Hussein is from me. So the love of Rasulullah towards Imam al-Hussein tells us that anything that you do for Aba Abdullah is considered sacred. Then I would like to explain has this walk ever been mentioned by the Imams? Has this walk ever been mentioned and considered sacred by the Imams? So indeed, yes, when you look towards Kamilu Ziyarat or Tahdhibul Ahkam, you would see numerous narrations about walking towards Aba Abdullah, and in which Imam tells one of his companions that when you walk towards Aba Abdullah, go to him at the time of Arba'een, and go to him walking towards him at the time of Arba'een. And Imam mentions that when you walk towards Aba Abdullah, you will be getting, for every step taken, I would be mentioning this reward after completing the whole narration. So Imam says that when you walk towards Aba Abdullah, you will, when you reach in front of the Zari, you become from the people of Muflihin wa Munjiheen. Who are the people of Muflihin? Who are the people of Munjiheen? People of Muflihin and Munjiheen are those, like for example, if I give a test and I pass that test, so I would be Munjih, I would be Najih towards that exam. And if there is something that is considered for the hereafter, if you give a test in the hereafter, then you would be considered muflih. You would be considered from the people of those who have got falah. What does falah means? What does najah means? Over here, if like Imam says, first you become munjih. Munjih is you become successful in this dunya, in this world, and then you become muflih, that you become successful in the hereafter. So Imam says, when you reach towards the zari of Aba Abdullah, say to him, Assalamu alayka ya wali Allah wa ibn waliyih. Salam to you, O wali of Allah and O the son of wali of Allah. I give my salam towards you. And then Imam states that when you did this and you complete the ziyarah and you leave the shrine of Aba Abdullah, you become the faizeen. So first of all you become muflih, then you become munjih, and then you become faizeen. What is faizeen? What are the people who become faiz? Do we not say that Ya laytani kuntu ma'akum fa'afuza ma'akum fawzan azima? What does this fawz, what does faiz, what does that all mean? So it has been mentioned that the faizeen are the victorious ones. You are successful and you are victorious as well. You become successful by doing the ziyarat of Aba Abdullah. You become successful in the dunya. By doing the ziyarat of Aba Abdullah, you become successful in the hereafter. And by doing the ziyarat of Aba Abdullah, you become the victorious ones. So when you leave the shrine, after completing the ziyarat of Aba Abdullah, you are the victorious ones. And what does, I said that, this sentence which states, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum. Oh, I wish I was there with you, O Aba Abdullah, so that I can become the victorious ones. What kind of victorious ones? The one who has gained a very big victory. The one who has gained a very big victory. What does that mean? That there would be no one bigger than me who is victorious other than me. So this is the victorious ones. Do we not say hayya in azan? Do we not say that hayya ala salah, hayya ala salah, and then we say hayya ala al falah? Come to something which gives you victory, which makes you a successful one. So this is what al victory, al faizeen means. You even remember that when Amir al-Mu'mineen was hit with the strike of that maloon, and what was the last words of Amir al-Mu'mineen? Amir al-Mu'mineen in his sajda said, Fuztu wa Rabbil Kaaba. I become one of those who are the victorious ones by I take an oath on Allah, on the one who will take care of the Kaaba, who's the carer of the Kaaba. I take oath on him that I am the victorious ones. So Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen wanted to become, he become victorious ones when he received Shahada. And we become victorious ones when we complete the ziyarat of Aba Abdullah. Now we would like to discuss upon what is the reward of walking towards Aba Abdullah. The reward of walking towards Aba Abdullah, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says that first of all, when a person is walking towards Aba Abdullah, for each step taken there is a reward, and for each step taken there is a sin that would be dropped off from the past actions that you did, and you would be walking for each step, this reward will be given to you. This is one narration. The other narration states that for each step that you are walking towards Aba Abdullah, by doing the intention of the ziyarah, you would be getting, for one step you would be getting alfa hajj, 1,000, the rewards of 1,000 hajj. And for each step that you are taking towards Aba Abdullah, you will be getting your 1,000 sins will be removed. وَمَهَا أَنْهُ أَلْفَ سَيِّئَةٍ. 1,000 sins will be removed from his amals, from the actions that he did. And وَرَفَعَ أَلْفَ دَرَجَةٍ. And his 1,000 statuses will be raised. for each step taken. So this statuses will be raised in the Jannah, because Jannat is divided in stages. So there are a lot of stages. So every step you take, you will be 1,000 stages. 1,000 statuses higher in the Jannah. And then we have Alfa Hajja, Alfa Sayyi'a wa Alfa Daraja. Now, there is another narration that states that when you take the first step towards the ziyarat of Aba Abdullah, بأول خطوة قال Imam الصادق بأول خطوة غفر الله له ذنوبه. All his sins will be forgiven just by taking the first step towards Aba Abdullah. Now, I would like to tell you that where shall we start our ziyarat from? Shall we start our ziyarat when we are leaving our homes, or shall we start our ziyarat when we start walking towards Aba Abdullah? So there is a narration that innamal a'malu bin niyat. Indeed, the a'mal, the actions are based upon the intentions. So if you intend walking towards Aba Abdullah when you complete the ziyarat of Najaf, ziyarat of Kufa, ziyarat of Kadhaman, ziyarat of Samarra, and coming back to the street where you start walking towards Karbala, and you intend now the intention of walking towards Karbala and towards Imam al-Hussein for his ziyarah, you will be getting the reward only from Najaf, or the place where you're starting the walk, till Karbala. You will be getting only that kind of reward. But if you intend back from your home, when you were there in your homes, and when you step out for the first step, when you step out, you will be getting if you intend from there that I'm walking towards Aba Abdullah from now on, and while walking towards Aba Abdullah, on my way I will do the ziyarat of Najaf, I will do the ziyarat of Kufa, I will do the ziyarat of Sahla, I will do the ziyarat of Kadhaman, I will do the ziyarat of Samarra, and I will come on the street of Karbala and I will walk towards Karbala. So when you are doing this, you will be getting the reward of each step taken from your home. You are walking inside Masjid Kufa, it is counted as 1,000 Hajj, 1,000 sins will be removed, and 1,000 darajats, 1,000 statuses will be hired for you. So 1,000 higher statuses will be given to you. So when you're walking from your home, your sawab, your reward started from there itself. Now we would like to tell you that there was a companion of Rasulullah who was there to walk towards Aba Abdullah, who walked towards Aba Abdullah for Arba'een. His name was Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari. Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari left the lands of Hijaz and walked towards the Aba Abdullah shrine. You know how long the distance between the shrine of Aba Abdullah and Hijaz is? It's a very long distance. We walk from Najaf, which is inside Iraq, to Karbala, and it takes minimum 3 days for you to reach there. But walking from Hijaz all the way to Makkah and all the way to Karbala is a long journey. It might have taken 3 months, it might have taken 6 months, we never know. But Jabir walked all the way, took all this pain, and walked all the way towards Aba Abdullah, so that he can get the reward and feel what Aba Abdullah felt on the day of Ashura, and feel what the other companions of Aba Abdullah felt on the day of Ashura. He wanted to be same like Aba Abdullah, as Aba Abdullah went from Medina to Makkah and then to Karbala. Similarly, Jabir walked all the way from Hijaz to Makkah and then to Karbala, so that he could feel what he has felt, what Aba Abdullah felt. Like for Bibi Hajra, I told you that inna Safa wal Marwa min sha'air Allah. This Safa and Marwa is from the slogans of Allah. So when we talk about the slogans of Allah, you know that this why is this walk became obligation upon us? Why this walk became obligation? Why is it necessary for us to do? I respect the walk of Janabi Hajra. I will honor, I will pray for Bibi Hajra that Allah increases her rewards. because she did this much for a Nabi, but why it became an obligation upon us? So that Allah, maybe the answer could be this, that Allah makes us feel what Bibi Hajra felt while walking from Safa to Marwa and Marwa to Safa. Similarly, Jabir knew this, and Jabir, when he knew this, he walked all the way from Hijaz to Karbala, and from on his walk he wanted to feel what Aba Abdullah felt. He wanted to feel the pain of Aba Abdullah while walking all the way till here. He wanted to feel the thirst that he felt at times during his walk, and he wanted to feel what they felt. There is other things that while I want to tell you about, while you're walking towards Aba Abdullah, who is that person, who is Aba Abdullah. I wanted to tell you about his status as well, how high his status is in the eyes of Allah. So for this I would be telling you three things. First is that when you're walking towards Aba Abdullah, there's a narration that states that there would be 1,000 rows of people who will be asking for shafa'ah on the day of judgment. On the day of judgment, 1,000 people will be asking for shafa'ah. Who are those 1,000 people? They are the people who do sins in this dunya and are from the lovers of Ahlul Bayt, or are from the lovers of different times, like different Nabi had different Anbiya, had different community who were following them. So they are from their lovers, but they committed crimes according to their deen or the deen of Rasulullah. So they would be demanding Allah to grant them Jannah at that time, but they were sinful people. So and the shafa'at is made only for these kind of people. So one row out of those 1,000 rows will be given a shafa'ah, like the Anbiya, the Salihin, the Shuhada, the Siddiqeen, and the shafa'at is given to a lot of people. All of these people will be doing the shafa'ah of one row, and 999 rows will be given towards Aba Abdullah that do the shafa'at for these 999 rows. That is why Imam Hussein is an exception towards the alam. This is what Imam Hussein is, and this is what Imam Hussein can do in the hereafter. Then we have another one of my ustad, one of my teachers. He told me about a narration about what happened when a person who was a Bedouin, he died, and then he was buried inside the Ha'ir of Imam al-Hussein. This Ha'ir al-Husaini, the Bedouin was buried inside, and on the same day a alim who knew everything was buried inside over there. So I want to tell you about the status of Aba Abdullah, how high his status is. So this person was buried with an alim, and before as he was buried inside the grave, the Munkir and Nakir, the two angels who come inside the grave to question you, they came inside the grave of a Bedouin, and they asked him, Man Rabbuk, who is your Lord? He replies, the Bedouin, because this person who was a Bedouin, he do not know anything. He do not know who is his Lord, he do not know who is his Rasul, and he do not know nothing. So he replied that Ma a'rif ghayr sahib hadha al-qabr. I do not know anyone other than the one who is the owner of this grave. And he pointed towards the grave of Aba Abdullah. Then they asked him, Man Rasuluk, who is your Rasul? He replied, Ma a'rif ghayr sahib hadha al-qabr. I do not know anyone other than the owner of this grave. And he pointed towards the grave of Aba Abdullah. Then he replied that, then Munkir and Nakir asked him the third time, Man imamuk, man hujjatik. He replied, Ma a'rif ghayr sahib hadha al-qabr. I do not know anyone other than who is the owner of this grave, and pointed towards the grave of Aba Abdullah. So after doing this 3 times, they looked towards Aba Abdullah, Imam al-Hussein salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayh, and they looked towards him and they told him that this person is replying in this way. Imam says that he is a Bedouin, he do not know anything, and leave him, and I will take care of the hisab and kitab, and I will take care of everything. Then Munkir and Nakir walked towards the grave of that alim, and while the alim was seeing everything that is going on in Barzakh, he came to know of a way that could help him and that could give him najat. So he replied. First of all, they questioned him, Man Rabbuk? He even replied the same way the Bedouin replied. He said, Ma a'rif ghair sahib hadha al-qabr. I do not know anyone other than the owner of this grave, and pointed towards the grave of Abu Abdullah. Then he replied, Man Rasuluk? Munkir and Nakir questioned him, Man Rasuluk? Who is your messenger? He replied, Ma a'rif ghair sahib hadha al-qabr. We do not know anyone other than the owner of this grave, and pointed towards the grave of Abu Abdullah. Then he replied that, who is your Imam? They questioned him again, who is your Imam? He replied the same thing. He replied, Ma a'rif ghair sahib hadha al-qabr. I do not know anything other than the grave, the owner of the grave of this grave. So, and pointed towards Abu Abdullah. So they looked towards Imam al-Hussein. Munkir and Nakir looked towards Imam al-Hussein. And Imam al-Hussein replied that, smiled and replied that he is an alim, he knows everything, but leave him as well, I will take care of the hisab and kitab. This is Imam al-Hussein. And indeed Imam al-Hussein there is a narration that Inna al-Hussein safinatun najah wa misbahul huda, that indeed Hussein is a ship that will save you and is a light of guidance. Indeed, Imam al-Hussein, when you come towards the grave of Imam al-Hussein, you will be guided towards Allah. And when you do something for Imam al-Hussein, he will definitely save you. There is another narration in which a companion asked Imam that, are all of you not the Sufunun Najat, all of you not the Safinatun Najat, and are all of you not the light of guidance, that all of you are not the ships that save people, and all of you not the light of guidance? Then Imam replies, indeed, we are Sufunun Najat, we are the ships that will save you, and we are the light of guidance. And then he says that, why is Imam Hussein only called the Safinatun Najah wa Misbahul Huda? Then Imam replies, but inna Safinat Jaddi al-Hussein asra, that the ship of Imam al-Hussein is very fast, and the Safinatu Jaddi al-Hussein awsa, and it is very big. So it can take anyone inside, and it is one of the fastest who will save you. There is another narration from Ayatollah Burujardi. This is the third thing that I wanted to tell you, which says that Ayatollah Burujardi was giving his Bahth al-Kharij. Bahth al-Kharij is one of the highest classes that is given in the Hawza that we are studying in. So Bahth al-Kharij, he was giving it, and then all of a sudden he started the Masa'ib of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam, and he cried, and he made the people cry as well. So when he cried and made the people cry, the person replied, when he came down of the mimbar, his students asked him that, why did you do this? All of a sudden you were teaching Bahth al-Kharij, and all of a sudden you started the Masa'ib of Abu Abdullah. Then he says, yesterday night while I was sleeping, I saw a dream, and in that dream I saw that there is a day of resurrection and day of Qiyamah, and this day of Qiyamah everybody is standing, and there are 12 doors of heaven. The first door is of Amir al-Mu'mineen, the second Imam al-Hasan, third Imam al-Hussein, fourth Imam Zain al-Abidin, fifth and sixth till Imam al-Qa'im. So these are the 12 doors that are there. And then he replies that I saw the first door, people are standing and nobody is getting inside. The second door, people are standing and nobody is getting inside. The third door, when he saw the third door, people are going inside faster and faster, and like everybody is going inside. And then he says that I went there and I wanted to just get inside through the third door. Then he says that I saw Imam al-Hussein on that door, and Imam al-Hussein said to me that you are a faqih, you have to come through the sixth door, which is the door of Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam. Then because all of you know that we are in the fiqh of fiqh al-Jafariya. We follow the fiqh of Imam As-Sadiq alayhi salam. So he went to the sixth door. He saw that everybody, all those maraji'een and all those ulama and allama are standing over there in the sixth door, and Imam As-Sadiq alayhi salam is questioning each and every one of them. He's questioning. He saw Shaykh al-Mufid standing there. He saw Shaykh al-Tusi standing there. He saw Allama Hilli standing there. He saw Muhaqqiq al-Hilli standing there. He saw Muqaddas Ardabili standing there. And everybody was standing over there. And while they were standing, and they were not allowed to enter heaven, and they would have to answer the questions of Imam As-Sadiq. And Imam As-Sadiq was questioning them very hard questions, and he was asking that, why did you give such a fatwa? So Shaykh al-Mufid probably, or one of those who was standing in front, replied that I gave it because I have this dalil, I have this verdict from you and this narration. Then Imam says, did you not see the other narration, and then this one is stronger than this one? Then he replies, I saw it, but I did a mistake. And then this is how Imam Sadiq is questioning about the verdicts, the fatwas that are given by them. So Imam replies that these things that you have done in this dunya, and Imam is not letting anyone inside without completing the whole verdicts that they have given all their life. Then Atullah Burjadi replies to his student that I went to the third door again and asked that why are these people entering towards the door of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam without, they are not faqih, they did not do anything for the deen, but they are just entering towards in heaven just like that. Then he got a reply from there that these are the people who cried for Imam al-Hussein, and these are the people who made people cry for Imam al-Hussein. So anyone who make cry for Imam al-Hussein and cries for Imam al-Hussein will be entering with the Safinatun Najat of Imam al-Hussein, which is the fastest and which is the widest and which is the biggest of them. So this is what the Safinatun Najat of Imam al-Hussein is. And I would like to, there is one more thing. In Quran, Allah says, "Al-yawmu nakhtimu ala afwahihim wa tukallimuna aydihim wa tashhadu arjuluhum bima kanu yaksibun." This is a verse from Surah Yasin. It says, today we will put locks on their mouth, and their hands will talk to us, and their legs will give shahada and testify us. What is this testifying about? What is this hands talking to Allah? And why has the mouths been locked? Because the mouth can say a lie, but the hands would not lie, and the legs will testify it. So what are they testifying for? So when the mouths will be locked and nobody will be allowed to speak in those days, in that day when everybody will be not allowed to speak and the hands and legs will be testifying, so they will be testifying the actions done by a person. So when a person with these hands, with these legs, with the body that is being given to us, we can do good deeds and we can do bad deeds. So the good actions that are given to us are, let's suppose I go towards Abu Abdullah walking, or I go towards Imam al-Hussein. I go towards Imam al-Hussein and I walk towards him. And the other thing, the bad things, I can do bad things from it. So this is, they will be testifying about my actions. So we should take care of our actions, and we will be explaining more about this in the coming sessions, insha'Allah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
हाँ कैसा प्यारा नारा है ये, हर दिल ने पुकारा है ये, मौला ये हमारा है, या मौला या हुसैन, या हुसैन। मेरे मौला सबने दिल से माना है ये, सबने जिसको पाना है ये, हम सबका खजाना है, या मौला या हुसैन। मौला हमारा जिसके दिल में भी रहेगा, हुर की तरह से उसका दिल भी ये कहेगा, तुम बेमिसाल मौला, तुम लाजवाल मौला, तुम बेमिसाल मौला, तुम लाजवाल मौला। हर दिल से आ रही है मौला ये सदा, मौला ये सदा, मौला ये सदा। होगा जब बेदार ये जमाना या हुसैन, होगा जब बेदार ये जमाना या हुसैन, सारे जहां के पर होगा होगा या हुसैन, सारे जहां के पर होगा होगा या हुसैन।
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We are again here and we will be discussing the last verse that we discussed. We discussed about the verse which testifies about our hands. The actions will testify by our hands and by our legs. The verse says, اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون. So in this verse we see that today al-yawm, what does that al-yawm means? The day of resurrection. Nakhtimu ala afwahihim, we will put locks upon their mouths, and we will their hands will speak to us, and their legs will testify about the actions that they did. So what does that mean? I wanted to explain you more about this, that in this day, that when we are walking towards Abu Abdullah, first of all I would like to talk about the bad actions. Like for example, if a person is going towards bad action, he's committing crime, he's doing robbery, he's stealing things, or he's drinking wine, or he's doing different kind of things which are wrong. So he's using his hand to pick up that money to steal it. He's using that hand to drink the glass of wine that he has in hand. He is using his hand to commit different kinds of sins. He's using his hands to make something go wrong for a moment. He's using his legs to guide people to a wrong path. So this is what his hands will testify on the day of Qiyamah. And his mouth will not be allowed to speak. He won't be able to say, no, that I did not do this. But his hands will tell Allah that, oh Allah, using me, using the hands that that you have given to him, he will go towards, he has went towards good people and did this crime, and he stole his friend's money, he robbed a bank, or he used to drink wine with his hands, and all the other kinds. He used to do ghibah with his mouth, and his hands will testify all these actions. And the other thing is that a person can use these hands to do good things. A person can use these hands to walk towards Abu Abdullah. A person can use these hands to walk towards the majalises, the mahfil that we do towards Abu Abdullah. And we can use these hands to beat our chest that has been the chest that has been trampled under the feet of the horses. We can use these hands to beat our head for the head that has been struck with the iron rod. We can use these hands to wipe out the tears that we did, that we cried for Abu Abdullah, for the youngest youngest boy that was martyred on the day of Abu Abdullah. I would really like to tell you what happened on the day of Ashura, so that you could, by walking towards Abu Abdullah, you could remember what happened on the day of Ashura, what happened on the day, because we are commemorating what happened on the day of Ashura by going in Arba'in after the 40th of on the 40th of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So we can use our hands to wipe out those tears that came out of our eyes for Ali Asghar. You remember that when Imam al-Hussein was there and none of his companions was there, and everybody was martyred and nobody was left, Imam al-Hussein came out of his tents, and Imam al-Hussein gave a voice towards the people, Hal min nasirin yansuruna, is there anyone who could help us out? Hal min nasirin yansuruna, is there anyone who can help me? So there were two tents that were heard a cry from. One was the tent of Imam as-Sajjad, in which Imam Hussein heard a cry from, and one was the tent of Ali al-Asghar. The tent of Imam as-Sajjad, Imam asked Bibi Zainab that, "Oh Bibi, give me my sword and my asa so that I can go outside." And Bibi Zainab asked him, "Where are you going outside?" So Imam replied, "Oh, do you not hear the sound, the voice of my father, that he is asking for help? How can a young son stay on the bed while his old father is asking for help?" And then Imam tries to walk out of the tent, but Imam Hussein said to Bibi Zainab to take Sajjad inside his tent so that the nasl of Imamat can stay. And the other cry was heard from the tent of Ali al-Asghar. Imam went inside that tent and asked, what is happening? Why are you all crying for? Then when Imam saw that the cry is because Asghar has dropped himself out of his bed, then Imam says that, "Oh Rabab, give me my son, give me my son." Imam takes his son, and walked towards the people who were from the army of Yazid, and said to them, "Oh Pisar Asad, oh the son of Saad, listen to me. I have a baby in my hand, and this baby is thirsty since last 3 days. He has not drunk even a single drop of water. If you have enmity towards me and you are fighting with me, what is the sin of this small kid who is here and who is thirsty since last 3 days?" This is what Imam Hussein said when he saw this. When the army of Yazid saw this, everybody started shouting that, "Oh yes, oh Pisar Asad, give this son water, give this son water." When Pisar Asad started hearing all this, he says, "Aina Hurmula, iqta' kalam al-Hussein." Where is Hurmula? "Oh Hurmula, come and cut off the words of Imam al-Hussein." So Hurmula came and he took a arrow which had three arrows in front of it. This, you know how small a 6-month-old baby's neck is. You know how small it is, and you know this three spare arrows was used to stop the horses which were uncontrollable. They were hit by that arrow so that they can shed blood and control themselves. So this arrow was used for those kind of horses which were uncontrollable, and it is being used on a 6-month-old baby of Aba Abdullah. So he puts his arrow and takes aim towards the neck of Ali al-Asghar. And when he takes that aim of Ali al-Asghar, he drops that arrow for the first time. The arrow falls from his hand. The second time he feels that arrow, he tries to take an aim, but it drops again. The third time he takes, and it drops again. So when it drops, then Pisar Asad replies to him that, "What has happened to you? what is happening over here? Why aren't you able to hit an arrow towards Hussein? Then he replies that I'm not able to hit it because when I take a aim, there is a baby who is coming towards me, who is saying that, what is the sin of my son? Why are you trying to kill my son? And this is the thing that is happening over there. So I'm not able to hit an arrow. He takes the arrow and hit towards Abu Abdullah, and it hits the neck of Ali Asghar from one end to the other end, and Ali Asghar gets slaughtered in the land of Karbala. This is what happened over there. And we can use our hands to wipe out the tears that we have shed for this whole thing that happened. Now Imam al-Hussein is taking that. Imam al-Hussein has had that blood on his hand and he wants to drop it to the ground, but the ground says that there would be no food coming out of the ground if this drops on the ground, and he wanted to throw it in the air. Then he says that no rain will drop from the skies if this blood came in the sky. Then Imam puts the blood on his face, and then he says that this is how I will be meeting my grandfather on the day of judgment. And then Imam al-Hussein is carrying that small body towards the tents. And how is he going to take that body towards, because Sakina is waiting that Asghar might get water. Then all the babies are waiting that Asghar might get water. But what is Asghar going to get is a spear and an arrow crossing his neck. And this arrow crossed his neck. And now Imam al-Hussein is walking, and this is just a small body which Imam is carrying, and Imam is walking 2 steps ahead, 1 step back, and he is going and saying radhan biqada'ihi wa tasliman li amrih, and he is coming back towards and saying inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. This is how Imam al-Hussein walked 2 steps ahead and 1 step back. He is walking ahead and coming back, and he is reaching the tent. And when he reached the tent, and he calls out, come take your son, O Rabab. And before the mother come, the sister, his Ali Asghar's sister, who is Janab Sakina, baby Sakina, came running, and he saw that Asghar is not speaking anything. Then she replies that, oh Baba, did you get water to Asghar? Then Imam removes the Abba from Asghar, and then she shouts that, oh mother, my brother Asghar has been killed in this battlefield. And we would use our hands to wipe out these tears, and definitely these tears have a reward in the eyes of Allah. radhan biqada'ihi wa tasliman li amrih, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun.